Many people are encapsulated by an entitled mindset and a selfish mindset nowadays, in which they always believe that they know best and they don't need to listen to anybody else because, well, they got it going on, and meanwhile they're not even where they want to be. And one thing about leadership is that something that I've learned with leadership is you can't really lead anybody where you've never been unless you're all willing to be pioneers of some kind. And that's what Moses does in the Bible. And when he leads the people out of Egypt, they're out of tyranny, but now they're in a famine. And so it seems like things are a little bit worse off than they were because, well, yeah, they were under tyranny, but at least they got to eat. At least they had the ability to know when their next meal was going to come. But in true freedom, sometimes the uncertainty is baffling unto people. But this is why you need to listen. And I've learned from a very long time ago, when I started on my spiritual journey when I was about 22, I'm 28 now. I guess I was maybe 21 as well, but anyway, I'll be 29 this year. And something that I learned was that I need to listen more. I need to listen, and it's not always that I need to listen because I need to doubt myself. It's that I need to listen to see that other people around me know something that I don't. Because maybe I have a blind spot that other people are going to help reveal unto me. And this is going to be very important because if you don't know how to walk with wise counsel or with wise people, you're going to be a fool just like everybody else. And this is something that I wanted to bring up as well. This is Proverbs chapter 15, verse 22. It says, "Without counsel, purposes are disappointed, but in the multitude of counselors, they are established." Well, what does that mean? Well, it means that your purpose is going to be a catastrophe without good counsel. But if there's a lot of counselors around you and people that are actually aligned with their self-interest and with the team interests, well, then your purpose is going to be established in all ways. Your purpose is going to fulfill itself. Your purpose is going to manifest. But you all have to be on the same page. You all have to have the common goal. And you all have to be filled with enough humility to recognize that maybe you don't know it all. And so I learned a long time ago, if I'm not maturing, if I can't mature in a moment, it's because I'm not listening to the right things. It's because I'm not paying attention to the right things. And so I cannot mature if I am not listening to the world, because God will speak to us through people. He will speak to us through situations and events. Even the symbology of events can describe certain things that happen in your life. And this is something that is very important, is because if you are stuck in a place where you don't know how to evolve from it, you're likely not listening to either yourself or the other people around you, or the situations as a whole, right? So how do you amend that? How do you do something about that? Well, you have to have a resolve in your mind. You have to have a kind of resolve in your character. And so I have something else I wanted to talk with. This was from book 10 of Marcus Aurelius' Meditations. He says, "Whatever happens, either you have the strength to bear it or you don't. And if you have, exert your nature and never murmur about the matter. But if the weight is too heavy for you, do not complain, because it will crush you and then it will destroy itself." Well, so that's a very stoic principle, right? But it's also a very practical principle about how reality works. So even if you do have the strength to bear it, and you have the strength to bear whatever situation or struggle it is or challenge it is that you're going through, you must exert yourself onto it. You must exert your nature. So you you have to exert your will into it. And if you take a moment right now and just have your mind will something into existence. Believe it. Really believe it. Really believe whatever it is, your daily affirmation or whatever it is that you're working on. For example, I am grateful for God giving me everything that I need. I am grateful for God giving me everything I need. Well, now I'm imagining whatever it is that God wants for me and needs for me, He is giving unto me. Well, then that's what it is. Like I'm willing it into existence insofar as is in accordance to what God is planning for me. And something else is that I'm thinking about is a man himself is going to be able to change the environment that he's in just by him being who he is. And a man ought to be able to change the environment just by his presence alone. And if he doesn't, he's probably not yet mature. Well, what does that mean? He needs to exert himself, or, as Marcus Aurelius just describes here, if the weight is too heavy, if the burden is too heavy, well, then don't complain about it. Because even if you do complain, there's nothing that's going to come of it other than it's going to crush you anyway. But then the weight is going to, not going to be able to bear itself anyway. So it's going to be destroyed all around. And, there's been a lot of times in my life that I'm thinking about where just reading this, and I'm thinking about the occurrences that have happened where I've thought about this. It's very humbling to go through these kinds of moments. And God is putting me through a humbling stage right now where He's basically telling me, I want to give you everything that you want. But are you capable of the responsibility, the true responsibility of what's to come? Because if you're not capable of the responsibility of what's to come, you might as well not even be a participant in what this endeavor is, and this project is that you're working on. Because this project is going to, I'm working on something right now where it has the potential, I genuinely believe, to change a lot of things. And sometimes I can get so fixated on trying to solve the problem and trying to make the problem known to other people before I give them the solution. Because I recognize this from great people in the past. Like Carl Jung, for example, he not only gave you answers to questions you never thought about, he gave you answers to questions that you never thought about that will change your life. And that's what I strive to do. But I also recognize that in order to do something like that and to have the effect for generations like he is doing right now, somebody like Carl Jung, for example, I need to make sure that I've got myself entirely in order before I do that. Well, what does that mean? I have to listen to what God wants me to be doing. I have to listen. I have to be obedient. I have to lean not on my own understanding. Okay, this is something that the Bible also talks about is do not lean on your own understanding, lean on God's understanding. Sometimes I even amaze myself at the things that I'm doing because I'm not even meaning for it to happen that way. Like even my mistakes, this is what's so cool about following Christ. Even your mistakes are going to be ending up for the greater good. Like even your mistakes are wins. And I know that sounds weird, but it's actually very good because you get to learn. Like you get to really learn and have the true experience of learning something that is going to go beyond whatever it is that you're just trying to wish into existence. But if you can will it into existence and you have the experience, man, it's going to be a whole different ballgame. But you have to be able to recognize that you need to listen. If you want to mature, you got to listen. And you can't mature if you don't listen. And anybody that is worth their salt, like let's say somebody is where you want to be, or at least they have an understanding of where you want to be, but you don't really want to listen to them. You don't really care to listen. It's like, well, then you're just wasting both of y'all's time. You're literally just wasting time. And there's no need for that. There's absolutely no need. But if you're going to listen to this person, you ought to have no reason. If you really respect and trust this person, you ought to have no reason other than to just follow what they're telling you to do. I mean, what else? Why wouldn't you? If they're where you want to be, or they have an understanding of what you want to understand, why wouldn't you just listen to them? Like, this is what it means to surrender. This is I think part of listening and inspires a sense of surrender to God as well, because you have to recognize that I don't know everything. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's this. I don't know what this is. I'm going to need counsel. Lord, I'm going to need counsel on this. But the Lord will give you the guidance that you need if you just like picture it right now. Take like your chakra energy centers, for example. And I know that a lot of people will say chakras, aren't you a follower of Christ? It's like, yes, I've talked about this, but give me, just allow me this moment for a second. Give me some poetic symbology right here. So imagine like there's those energy centers in your body. Imagine each of them lighting up with the energy that they need. And it goes into your crown chakra, and your mind just wills it into existence. You will it into existence. You can visualize it. You don't just visualize, you see it playing out. And now you're going to move that way. It's really something to behold, and it's kind of freaky to me sometimes, where you can actually watch your reality shift in real time, and you can see how you can actually bend your reality to your will if it's in accordance to God's will, because you can bend reality to your will if you don't have faith. But true faith, that is. You can have faith that you can bend reality to your will, but do you have the potential to follow Christ legitimately, and to actually, be in accordance to the law, statutes, and commandments while doing so? Because that's a much harder task than most people. It is by definition the most difficult thing, is to follow Christ. But anyway, you guys get the point here. It's that you have to really recognize, am I able to do this? Can I do this? How am I going to do this? Can I strategize this way? And you might have to just stumble toward the light. Okay, you might just have to fall your way forward sometimes. But that's part of learning, right? Like, think about a baby that's walking. Think about a baby that walks. A baby that's learning how to walk is going to fall. Okay, anything that you start new, you're going to have to learn how to walk, so to speak, at that. You're going to have to learn how to walk with that. So don't be hard on yourself. Don't get down on yourself just because you might be a fool. You have to be willing to be a fool to become wise, right? So you have to be willing to take the hits, but be wiser for it. Be all the wiser for it, and actually listen to what reality is telling you. Listen to what God is telling you through people, through situations. All right? So I hope this message was useful and insightful for you. I wanted to come through with a quick video this evening and get this out there because it's been on my mind, and God's been humbling me over the last couple of days, just recognizing, what exactly I'm doing, how I can articulate myself better, and how I can bear this responsibility more so, because I'm seeing that in the upcoming years, if not already, there's going to be MK Ultra programming with the social media influencers. People are going to be bought out because of the amount of followers they have and whatnot. And people are going to start to sell certain narratives to their audience. And the people that are in the collective consciousness, they're in the simulation and they're not part of the simulator, they're going to get caught up in whatever MK Ultra programming and mind control stuff that they're going to do with AI and all that. They're going to get so caught up with AI being God and all these things that it's our responsibility as godly people that have a platform and have influence to speak the truth into existence and to call the truth out as we see it and to stand firm no matter what. Because, man, so many people have sold their souls. So many people have sold themselves out, and it's hard to watch. It's hard to watch, like some of the people I've seen in the last couple weeks who I used to have a lot of respect for. I now see that, man, they've sold out. They've completely sold out, and it's a bummer. It really is a bummer, and I've had offers myself to throw things out there for like products and all that are not part of the Regal Change brand, and it's like, I've already got my own merch. I've already got my own academy. I've already got all of these things. I want it to be staying Regal Change Academy, Regal Change, the brand itself. I don't need it to be something else. I don't need it to be something else. And I'm not going to sell out just for a few extra bucks because I could. I guess I could, but, and it's not really, because I'm more of an honest person when it comes to that kind of stuff, and I know that sometimes power doesn't really favor the honest. But I also know that God will give me rewards that I can't even imagine in this life, on the other side of whatever side of the grave this is, right? Because I don't really believe in like death is an illusion. And when I say death is an illusion, I mean that, because it's just a circle. It's just a circle, and it's a matter of do you get out of the circle and into heaven, or do you not? Like, because you're in a circle of hell, right? This is one of the reasons why I think Dante's Inferno calls it the circles of hell. Like, there's 9 circles of hell in Dante's Inferno. It's because you just go around and around in a circle. You're in a loop. You're in a loop. You're in a loop. You're doing the same thing over and over again, and you can't get out. You can't get out. Like, some of the stories in Dante's Inferno, which we did a 7 Deadly Sins class in the Regal Change Academy a few months back. And, man, that was so cool because we got to go super deep into that kind of stuff, and the kinds of material that we were able to go through, and just to see, like, what happened. Like, there's like in lust, for example, the circle of lust, their punishment is being naked all together and rubbing up against each other forever. Like, so whatever the sin is in the circle of hell, that also becomes the punishment in some way. It's a weird twisted thing, but that's just the way that it was designed. And I mean, obviously it's an allegory and it's a metaphor and it's a very, epic poem, but I think it holds true as well. Like, the sin of itself, the punishment is the sin to some degree. So that's just something to think about. But anyways, I hope this message was useful and insightful. If you're watching this on the X account, then check the top of the link, the top of the page and the link in the description box for the free Telegram subscription channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, check the link in the description box below, and you'll find the free link to the Telegram channel as well. And I also want to appreciate everybody moving from the YouTube platform over to X, Rumble, and Instagram. Shout out to everybody in the Regal Change Academy, and peace be with you all. Until next time.